Hello everyone, this is Kyle out of Course for Draft Radio, bringing you another Magic Origins draft. I've been a little bored with Origins lately, so we're gonna try and do something different maybe. But I'm gonna try and go 3 colors if I can. Although I'm not gonna take bad cards on purpose. Pack is stacked: Lightning Javelin, Avaricious Dragon, Blazing Hellhound, Reclusive Artificer. All great cards, but Hangerback Walker. He's the walkiest. Nothing's walkier than old Hangerback boy. Pick here is between War Oracle and Topin Freeblade. I certainly don't mind taking Freeblade is cheaper. Oracle is a little more powerful. I'll take the Freeblade. 2 drops are just super important in this format. No good white cards, but there is another great red card. Ghirapur Gearcrafter is awesome. Another Reclusive Artificer, something to pay attention to. I think Ghirapur is a little bit better than Sergeant, and that's what we're going to take. Now this is interesting. So no good what there's a Celestial Flare as well, but there's also an Unholy Hunger. Hunger is the best card there. There's also a Leaf Gilder, but you know, point and kill is pretty sweet. So the little signals are a little all over the place. There's a Consul's Lieutenant and a Reeve Soul. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Consul's Lieutenant. Love me an aggressive white deck. Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and pass this Unholy Hunger and take the Totem Guide Heartbeast. Really just going to try and cut white now if we can. It's going to dig up our suppression bonds. Cleric of the Forward Order is fine as well. There's also Read the Bones, which is very good, but I'm going to try and cement myself in on white if I can here. Guardian Automaton is better than Mighty Leap or Alchemist Vial, so there's that. And we wheel a Reclusive Artificer. Well, alright. We wheel a second Reclusive Artificer. Alright again then. So now I can hide these, put Ghirapur back up. Or I could play 3 colors. I could play red, white, splashing blue for my lovely Recluses. Wouldn't be bad. Interesting. Interesting. So I have never really gotten a chance to play with Topin Freeblade. I've played this set a bunch. I've just never gotten around to it, which has been kind of sad. So Active Treason is good. I'm going to take Alchemist Vial, though. Now that I know that we're potentially playing 3 colors, I'd like to be able to draw to things. And I think drawing and stalling and getting more incidental value off my Reclusive Artificer is better than the mana fixing provided by Meteorite. If Meteorite was a 4-mana card and not a 5-mana card, I think it would be a different equation. But personally, I like card draw, and I like disruption, and I like Hangerback Walker. So this deck seems pretty fun. We could also be white, blue, splash red for the 2 Artificers. I mean, either way, it's fine. I'm just surprised that they wheeled at all. So we could hide Heartbeast. I guess we could hide Consul's Lieutenant too. Really depends on what way it goes. I've been impressed, though, with what I've seen and what I have experienced with Alchemist Vial. The card has been very impressive. Not oh my god, overwhelmingly so, oh god, gotta first pick the Alchemist Vials, but it's certainly decent. You know, siphons your deck. It's like a great nuts and bolts common. And now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts too. I could take to Heavy Infantry. Yeah, I think I'll just take Heavy Infantry and cement myself in the white. Amperin Tactician and Dark Dabbling, which will not be played. So we're definitely heavy white. The question is, what else are we going to be heavy into? Jessian Thief is very good. It works very well with my Alchemist Vials, too. There's also a Relic Seeker and a Suppression Bonds, which I can tutor up with my Totem Guide Heartbeast. I think the removal spell is going to be better than the Thief. There's also Relic Seeker. Hopefully I'll wheel an Enshrouding Mist or a Yoke Dox, but, you know, say lovey. Can't say no to something that I can grab with Totem Guide Heartbeast. Clash of Wills is very good. I'm actually going to take Disperse here. Disperse is an excellent card. You can use it to reset Renown and interact with Planeswalkers that you couldn't otherwise interact with. Alhammaret is insane, so we'll just take Alhamrit. It's a pretty awesome card there. So there's a Towergeist. I'm going to take Towergeist here over Aspiring Aeronaut. There is an argument to be made about Aspiring Aeronaut to get our Reclusive Artificers out there, but Towergeist also helps us dig for the land that we're going to need for our Reclusive Artificers. Like, I'm definitely playing both Artificers. Like, that's happening. Prism Ring is actually a card that has impressed me, weirdly enough. Like, it's a card that you can do some pretty good work with. That being said, I think I just need a 2-drop, and I think Screeching Scob just fits the bill. I'm sure I can wield Prism Ring, or Alchemist's Vial, but neither of which worries me. I think we're just going to go ahead and take Ghirapur Aether Grid here. We can tutor that up with our Heart Beast, and then on top of that, Heart Beast like gets us access to those pingers. And now we'll just take any of the cheap artifacts that we can find. Sure, Meteorite's fine. Helm of the Gods to help us with our enchantment artifact theme. I like it. We're very ambitious with this theme. I like how ambitious we're being. Yogg-Dox is actually, I think, something the deck wants. Stall for a little bit till we get our sweet combo online. Seems fun. Send to Sleep for the same reasons. I'm going to go ahead and hide Heavy Infantry. I probably won't play Consul's Lieutenant either. Scrapskin Drake is fine, just a nice aggressive flyer. Do I not wheel the ring or the other? Wow. So I didn't wheel either ring. That is surprising. Calculated Dismissal is fine, obviously over Reclaim, and then Void Snare is terrible. That's very surprising. I thought I was going to wheel both of those. Or at least one Prism Ring. I saw 2 that pack. But it's okay. We'll get there. Alright. So what are we looking for this pack? Stuff. No, not stuff. Going to be looking for some cheap artifacts to make our fun little derp combo work. You know, solid removal spells if we can get our hands on any of those, and otherwise, Anointer of Champions is fine. As is Swift Reckoning. Certainly a great removal spell. It fits the bill for what we're looking for. Graveblade Marauder is cool, but I'm going to take Patron of the Valiant. I think that's just a better card for us. And a 3rd Reclusive Artificer. I think the ship may have sailed on the Artificer plan, unfortunately. I think we might just be straight blue-white here. In which case, I'm probably going to hide this Helm of the Gods. I can put Consul's Lieutenant back in. I wanted to make that work, but I was surprised when we didn't wheel the cheaper ones. There is an Evolving Wilds, but Topin Freeblade, I think, is just going to be what we take. Just going to do the safe thing here. I don't think there's any shame in that. Hide the Yogg-Dox. We have plenty of playables. It's not like we're hard up for them or anything like that, but even so. Amperin Tactician. Nice card to slam down and just start beating with. War Oracle for the same reasons. And then a great inclusion in Stalwart Haven. Oh my gosh. And then a 2nd Stalwart Haven. Yes, please. Totem Guide Heartbeast is great too, but doesn't get much better than cheap aggressive flyers. You know what I'm saying? What do we cut now? Alchemist Vial? Or Send to Sleep, maybe? We certainly don't get as much value out of Send to Sleep as we do out of Alchemist Vial, I don't think. I mean, Alchemist Vial, like, you know, we show our hand with Alchemist Vial, but we also draw a card off of Alchemist Vial. I'm not going to play Charging Griffin, I don't think. I'll just take Hellhound here. Alas, Artificer's Epiphany. It's not a terrible card to include if we decide to go the opposite route. Oromancer, of course, on the off chance that we need. Our opponents have enchantment removal, we can board that in. Yeah, it's just a good old-fashioned meat and potatoes flyer deck. Sad. So sad. If it sounds like I'm genuinely disheartened by the fact that I'm not going to be playing the ridiculous artifact strategy, you would be right. I am ridiculously disheartened. I am going to board Send to Sleep back in, though. Ooh, and another Amperin Tactician. Now that's interesting. Amperin Tactician screws up combat math pretty hard. I think if we had wheeled the Prism and the Ring, I think I would have drafted that differently, because I would have taken the Evolving Wilds as well to grab the red. I wanted to make the derpy enchantment artifact recursion deck, and alas, alack, it just will not happen. That moment where you like wish ill on your own draft so that you can do something derpier with it. I think we're just going to board out one Amperin Tactician. I think 18 creatures and then Disperse, Send to Sleep, Swift Reckoning, Suppression Bonds, and Vial is fine. I think that is certainly an alright thing to do. And then we'll just play 10-7, we'll do 10 plains and 7 islands, and then we'll call it good. As soon as this decides to load, I'm going to board up the deck, but I'm not going to make you guys wait. This is basically going to be the deck that we have. Boarding out one Amperin Tactician, and keeping the Disperse and Send to Sleep, and Alchemist Vial, just so we have ways to interact with the board on the off chance our opponent plays something ridiculous. And I think that's just going to be how we play it. Got plenty of good flyers, decent stuff to attack with. You know, I'd like to have a little more board presence, so to speak. I might board Calculated Dismissal in. I might board out something. Like the Aeronaut. I might board out Aspiring Aeronaut actually and put this Calculated Dismissal in just to make sure that we've got multiple ways of interacting. Actually, the more that I think about that, the more that I actually really like that idea. Because that brings us to a whopping 17 creatures and then other multiple ways to interact with the board, and I think that's just better. Yeah, I think that's just better. As much as I like creatures, I think that our Aspiring Aeronaut is one of our worst creatures. Whereas I think Calculated Dismissal in this deck, with as many creatures as we have, can only get better. Certainly Aspiring Aeronaut is something to consider boarding in if we absolutely need it, but with as many 2-drops as we have and as much like stuff as we're going to be able to get done, I think in the early phases of this game, I think it is foolish to try and make that work without a little more non-creature interaction. So there's my reasoning. We are going to board in 6 mountains though, because you know, just on the off chance that I feel like siding into the weird deck that we have. Let's do Jank Runner. There are robots. There are robots in that movie. Calculated Dismissal is what we want. I'm pretty sure I just botched the spelling of it. The hardest part about playing Magic is spelling your own cards correctly. And as I said before, we're just going to do 10 plains and then 7 islands, and we'll call it good. And I think I am going to board into the artifact deck at some point just to derp around. All right, folks, we're ready, and I'll see you in round 1.